Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of By the Numbers. Crazy time to be doing it. 2 a.m. plus for me. Don't know what time it is where Duncan is because he's in Russia doing an event, and we thought we'd do. What's that?
Only 12. It's only midday for me, so you might think, why are you complaining? Because I went to bed about fucking 7 a.m. from doing League of Legends talk shows. Cause I'm an idiot, aren't I?
Mate, you gotta fucking take a break, bro. You're due a holiday. But anyway, so this episode's going to be probably fucking lame as fuck. It's going to be like Jay Leno on the fucking, today. Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
Yes, exactly. If every other episode, which by the way was straight fire, was like the CSGO majors, which are all amazing. This is the FACEIT major. There we go. Wasn't even good. Wasn't well crafted. But enough about the FACEIT major, right? That's good. There's two. Let's keep going.
Well, actually, because you did have something to say about the FACEIT major on Twitter recently, right? And like we were gonna do By the Numbers originally on that day. Then I had a work appointment, and then you were at an event, so we didn't get to talk about this fucking chicken thing, which is obviously like a little sort of spicy addition to the gumbo of bad shit that came out of the FACEIT major. So here's what's interesting. Completely independent. Like, I'm being honest, everyone at home, me and Duncan haven't talked about this shit. But I actually got told about that from, people, let's say, periphery to the event. And they were like, have you heard that the chicken gets a day rate? And I thought they were joking. Like, I thought they were fucking with me, oh yeah, very funny. The chicken gets a day rate, No, but the chicken actually got a day rate. The chicken was legit making. And we'll put it this way. Last time I worked for FACEIT, and I didn't even send the invoice in, they paid me something like £400 a day. So this chicken was getting more than me. It was a £500 a day chicken.
What I'm about to say, just like you there saying you didn't send in the invoice, is purely my own fault and naivety. But one of the other things that like mildly does cheese me off about FACEIT is in those early days I described when I was going to Italy to stay on Dan's fucking floor and do Quake cups for free. There were even times where, like I had like a train for like 50 quid I could have invoiced, which by the way, back then is fucking a lot of money to me. And I didn't invoice it because I thought, it's trying to help the scene, they're really trying to make it. Definitely regret that move now, of course. What's the due date on invoices? Can I pop those in now? What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, like I never bothered because similar mindset. Honestly, it was just like
some cool shit, right? I wanted to make it.
It's not that much money, Really like James Bardolph, really like Dan, really like Michele. These are my friends. I don't need to invoice for that. So, I mean, it's not like I'm bitching and moaning about it. I'm just talking about day rates. Now, interestingly enough, apparently there were people at that event that were getting the same as the chicken.
And that's the key. Here's the thing.
That's where it's mental.
Yeah, people didn't realise, right? The chicken part obviously is the draw to the tweet. That's what you get it on. Because initially you just react like, fucking, chicken, 500. Because really it's just a handler, and I'm sure it's specialised. He has to know how to train a chicken to on-command peck specifically into a ball. So, like, obviously that's a specialist skill of some sort. I mean, in some ways, it might
to do that for fucking years, haven't they?
In some way, you could suggest that alone is some sort of proof of the decadence of the West. This is the point I want to make. If, like, that part gets you in the door. But I saw in the thread, my old buddy, Clem Murphy, came out and he said, actually, that's because it was a Betway feature and Betway sponsored that part, which, by the way, could entirely be accurate. I never said it was actually FACEIT that paid him, never did that. But if you get that part, I'll even say that sounds like it could be true. But if you think that's like, oh, well, case closed, you're one of those daft cunts who just reads the top of Snopes and doesn't see like where they've just clearly lied about the context. Because the context of the tweet that's shocking is, as you say, the idea that any other person who's at the top of their field working what should have been the best CSGO event of all time was on less than the chicken is obviously outrageous, isn't it? And also, I'm getting a bit sick of this trend, Rich. Like, how does this work, okay? So if it's some provably wrong thing or possible thing that we might not know, we've literally got fucking like, it's like the guy who owns FACEIT's just paragliding in out of his secret island, like right in your face on Twitter, like, all right, cunt, what's up? And then if it's some like very minor thing that like, might not even be true or it's just some incredibly small thing, that same guy's just on the phone. Bring out the GIMP, Clem Murphy. And out comes this like ludicrous, also the name Clem Murphy, some ludicrous Irish stereotypes. Mr. Bardolph, I don't have to go out and lie again for you, do I? It's like, fucking hell. This is in real life. Oh, no. Oh, God. But this is not the stand. Anyway, we'll time stop all that. So.
Yeah. But no, but I mean, think about this. Think about this, right? If it's a Betway fucking sponsored event, right? And and they've signed off on the idea of having a chicken.
Yes.
Right. Well, why didn't you get Betway to supplement some more money for the actual talent rather than a fucking chicken? Like, don't get me wrong. I know Betway's all about memes and banter, and I think they do a real good job of it on their social media account. Not like Virtus.pro's Dota team, but we let's not fucking talk about that. Ridiculous. But yeah, so why not?
Yeah, why not get them to also sponsor a bunch of potentially world-class one-day female interviewer talent?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's done one of those ones where he drops a gem while pretending it's a joke again. Oh, shit.
But why not? Like, all them weatherman segments we're always talking about that we really want in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, the Purge wants some Dota.
Yeah, because Purge has them in Dota. Yanko did it that one time at fucking DreamHack. They got it in League, right? So why we don't have anything like that in Counter-Strike? Well, sponsor that, motherfuckers.
We even have Sean Gares at your fucking event. Please.
Yeah.
Well, this guy would just murder that concept.
Oh, exactly. I mean,
by the way, you'll enjoy this, Rich. The other day, I saw that Sean released one of his videos that he does on YouTube, which, by the way, are always wicked. Like, he always does a great job breaking down the game. And he even picked a really interesting topic. He picked the CT side of Dust 2 between Team Liquid and Mousespots in New York, which was basically where Liquid had the game won and just kept saving forever and doing like 4 spies that never made sense. Right, so it's a sick video, actually. It's exactly the sort of video you'd on request want from Sean Gares. But because I posted it, well, when you post something to Reddit, if you just use the use suggested title, obviously whatever he's picked as the title is the title, right? So the title, as a result, wasn't like Sean Gares talks about and then says all that. It just said the title, and it was posted by my account. So all the haters of me just downvoted it, and it didn't do very well, even though it was Sean Gares' own comment, their beloved Sean Gares. If that isn't a perfect example of how just wrong some people are in the head, then I don't know. Send out Clem Murphy to explain it to him.
I mean, we've got to get Clem Murphy on the case. But look, I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I think James Bardoff said they're going to make a video clearing up a few things in your video. So I'm intrigued to see what that clearing up's going to look like, because if it is sort of almost deflective, like, listen,
surely.
Well, listen, I don't know. Look, I've got no issue with like I've said it all along. I've got no issue with who FACEIT want to hire for their events. Definitely hire who you want to, but obviously when you do a major and it's community focused, you might have to pay the fucking piper in terms of criticism.
Of
if you make hires that people don't approve of, or hires that people think didn't work, or hires that you'll notice we've never sat here and done it for like an ESL event or a FACEIT event or majors. Yeah, majors are different. We even did it for fucking Eat League, right? I mean, it's not like we've ever dodged it. I was working at the company at the time, so obviously, didn't necessarily articulate my full opinions, but I certainly listened to you articulate, your opinions about the event. So they can hire who they want. I think the money issue is definitely concerning to me, because we've been trying to fight to get better rates, better working conditions for all talent across the board. And one of the things that I really hate is, FACEIT have a tendency to do this more than any company, is they try and leverage that personal relationship. I mean, like what you said about, how they were going to overlook Sponge because of his ties to ESL. I think if they want to come out and deny that, that's fine. Maybe they're not even aware that they're doing it. But, the amount of times that FACEIT have said to me, you don't want ESL to win, do you? Like, it's like, first of all, I don't know what your fucking concept of winning or losing is. You're a business, they're a business. I understand ESL dominate a large proportion of the calendar, but let's not pretend if the roles were reversed, you would somehow be benevolent and cede some of that territory to a business rival. Yeah, right. So it's a very strange one, but the idea that Sponge, and this is again absolutely true, the idea that Sponge was just going to get dropped for the bigger games when he's as good an analyst as we have is ridiculous. And the reason that Chad is so good, and the reason I always knew Chad was going to be good, is he is the complete package in terms of banter, analysis. He can tie a desk together, understands flow. perhaps better than anyone else. You know, you put him with someone like Sean Gares, that's going to be an amazing death segment for you. What you can't do is what was happening way too often on Face. It was you were getting people who were perhaps a little bit nervous, or they haven't done it for a while, and they were a little bit introverted and a little bit insular. And then you're putting them with Sean Gares, who's giving you all these like little wonderful factoids. But I know for a fact that people are literally, you know, just from doing years of events. You watch when we hit a death segment, viewership starts going down. You've got to work really hard to keep people engaged for like 15 minutes between games. This is why the entertainment factor is super important. It can't just be dry analysis of the game and looking at clips. There have to be some jokes. There has to be a reason to make people stick around. And like I say, I think Face It, we're just a little bit off. The chicken story is just a little bit of insult to injury, really.
Of course.
You know, I mean, like
essential point.
Yeah, not only
illustrates kind of the rot, doesn't it?
Yeah, not only do we ignore Vince, Red Eye, Pansy.
Oh, don't worry. I saw on Reddit. They go, "What do you mean? Vince was hired for the minute for one game? For fuck's sake!" At this point, you guys don't even understand the concept of tokenism, do you? They hired him for one game. You don't even know if he got paid.
I mean, this is the thing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I haven't had time to talk to.
Yeah, I haven't asked either.
Vince about it. I mean, equally, it's none of my fucking business. but you know, friends talk. But you know, like right, you overlook somebody like Vince, who I'm pretty sure would have worked the major for free, just as a prestige thing, and the fact he'd already announced his retirement, and you're paying a fucking chicken £500 a day to fucking peck at corn. Because it's funny. It's like you got to read the room. Sometimes stuff comes out and it's just off, you know? Like you couldn't throw that £500 to get Red Eye down just for a fucking wave to the crowd, you know, get Pansy in there for some games. Pansy's a freelancer now, right? She's represented by ESL, but she has worked many events. You'll see her at PGL doing PUBG and stuff, you know, and you know, like people are like, yeah, well, Pansy can't do it. She's contracted DSL. Complete nonsense. That is a very deliberate snub because of that perceived association. So there was a lot of new video that I found myself nodding at. The only thing I did clear up on Twitter, and obviously for posterity, I'll clear it up here as well, is during that famous DreamHack incident where I slammed a 12-year-old fucking SJW from Sweden through a table at Hell in a Cell, DreamHack 2015, crippling them for life, which obviously, because I'm an ultra-violent person.
Leaving them with a cross face.
Yeah, indeed. You know, what actually, Face It were great to me there. DreamHack immediately, because there was a risk DreamHack could lose the venue forever, and that was like their famous venue, you know, like... like in Jönköping, where they have like fucking, you know, good ties. Robert Olin has like the key to the town or the city or whatever the fuck it is, you know. But they were told if there's ever any incidents of violence or any incidents that contravene safety, you might not be allowed to come back and have the venue again. So DreamHack were just like, we can't put it back on a broadcast because it looks like we failed to deal with a violent threat. So Grey Khan, Hellspawn, Adabisi, they were all not only saying you will not do the broadcast, they were like literally drafting an NDA to put in my face so I wouldn't go and talk about it. And the intimation was if I signed the NDA and didn't complain, I would get rehired. But I was like, well, fuck that shit, whack, right? Now, Face It, James Bardolph, Michele, like Tosspot as well from Twitch, they were all like, nah, you got to let Richard finish the broadcast. This is fucking silly. And in the end, it was James Bardolph literally put his foot down and said, you're hosting our event.
Okay.
Richard closes the fucking show. End of discussion. So I would have been off the broadcast if it wasn't for the Face It guys. I know you sort of corralled the talent and everything else, but like, you know, Face It were very much of a like mind with you. And yeah. So
I'm sure this, by the way, this is a conversation I wasn't there for, obviously.
Yeah, no. There was a lot going on. Yeah, there was a lot going on. I mean, like you saw, I was like pulled out of the building at one point. So yeah. So I've always got fucking mad respect for Face It for that, but obviously, you know, that can only go so far.
They've done plenty of cool things. I don't know why. Again, you can see how immature people are. That they think, so you just hate them and all that. I mean, all I'm doing in Listery is exposing where they're not really paying the best talent in the world, even what they're worth. And then, as I alluded to with the chicken thing, if you've missed the point of that, like everyone who goes, but I think it's good when they give new people a try. You don't actually give new people a try because you think they're the best guys. It's like when someone says, I'm just developing players. That means you can't get a top player. So what you do instead is you're getting someone who's new and going, you're new. So of course I'm not paying you the top rate. Come on in. It's like, that's the gig, isn't it? Like, why is everyone cynical, but not about all the things that are obvious to be cynical,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit silly that it's kind of like dragged on a little bit as well. I mean, like I saw Faceit put up like a community feedback thread again, on Reddit, which is basically like, asking your fucking girlfriend if she'd be willing to give you a hand job on your birthday, like usually all right with that as a very moderate request. It just seems like a fucking act of self-fellation because everyone on Reddit seems to be completely enamored with Faceit and everything they do, even when they're banning now over in FPL players because they had a VACBand account from provably when they were 12 years old, and then to get clout within the community, they're then bragging about it, going, kids, don't you ever touch cheats. Like it's fucking nicotine from them old fucking 80s smoking adverts,
What sort of mad zero tolerance policy are they running?
Mate, but here's the thing. So just, again, like I'll get hate for it. The death threats will reign in for a week. Think about the lengths they went to try and get through the mental gymnastics to say Doc was great because Doc had something of a cult following because of all the mystique about him talking. They kicked a bunch of pros out of the league again for non-communication, all these other reasons. He gets to stay in. They fucking literally got Red Bull or someone to sponsor proving Doc innocent. Then some promising Danish fucking talent.
Proving he's innocent by having him play it and be much, much worse on camera. And then at the end, everyone goes, well, that's all I needed to see. And I'm just sat there like, am I taking the crazy pills again? What's going on?
Yeah. Well, and they basically fucking banned this like promising Danish talent. Like, put it this way, Natu tweeted out like saying, we're talking about a fucking child here. This is a disgrace. Like, hardly anyone is signing off with this idea. And like, again, Faceit just not reading the room, trying to pander to that FPL crowd, basically like saying, haha, but if you cheat ever, you must be punished forever. So, lots going on with fucking Faceit where I think they will do anything for positive community feedback, but I think they don't always understand what the community is going to be receptive to.
Sometimes you have to be considered wrong by the community to do the right thing. I know it sounds like a mad concept. It's just true.
So, yeah, but it's all weird. I didn't want to harp on too much about the FPL thing. I think FPL is a cancer. I think it brings about way too... The sort of culture that's been created around FPL compared to like something like Rank S has created way more problems than benefits it's brought with it. I think it's given a lot of players, a lot of very average players, completely out of control egos, and Faceit marketing it like this is like our legitimate path to pro and all of this stuff. Meanwhile, kicking out actual pros who've achieved stuff while bringing in, sub-tier talent just because they tweet a lot or have little followings and all of this stuff. I don't really like the way FPL's gone, honestly, from where it started, but that's a topic for another show. There has been some news, Duncan. They made a news. Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? No, there's all sorts. We can talk about Space Soldiers. So, interestingly enough, after a prolonged period of time that we were all kind of speculating about what was happening with Space Soldiers, they finally left that organization, the 5 Turkish players. There was a very weird prolonged period where they were like having like, black banners as if they were in mourning. There was a lot of speculation that they might be moving to, I think Optic got talked about at one point. They put a tweet out saying they've decided to unilaterally leave the organization.
To be fair, Optic does like to recruit teams who are shit at Counter-Strike, but bizarrely amazing online.
We'll come into that, don't worry.
I'm seeding it. I'm just getting the room ready.
Okay. Warm the room. So now they find themselves without an organization. Personally, as I've said before, I think the players commensurate to their talents, because I'm not quite as harsh a critic as you. I think of Space Soldiers, I can see what's there. I can see where the deficiencies are, and I don't know how necessarily you fix them. But
I'm not really that much of a critic of the team. Yeah. It's just they have an idiot fan base, as usual.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So So I think, the question is obviously like where do they go now? I think they could do a job for a lot of organizations that are kind of periphery to the scene. I've said it, first of all, I know Optic have a team at the moment. Don't know if they might want to revise their opinion. I think the problem you've got is that wherever they go, it has to be a decent sized organization, someone capable of getting them all the paperwork they need to go to international events, which has been a consistent problem under the old Space Soldiers org. And honestly, I would suspect part of the reason why the players decided to leave in the end. It must be immensely frustrating. Think about their major where they have to use a stand-in, hard style, the fucking coach who's never fucking played a competitive game of CS in his life. So I also maybe floated the idea of 100 Thieves. If you want to come back into the scene, but you don't want to take...
They also do like picking up teams that have visa problems.
Well, this is the thing. So, again, my understanding was, around that whole debacle, it was kind of like that when they acquired the team from Immortals, it was kind of like stated to them that, all their paperwork's in order.
Right.
And like buying a car where you don't check in the fucking book what the exact mileage is. They kind of got sold a little bit of a lemon on that one, and then
the Carfax on that one.
Yeah,
if there was one for esports, sadly.
Yeah, they basically had to like fucking scramble at the last minute. There's no doubt that an organization with the money, presence, of 100 Thieves can certainly get you a really good immigration lawyer. So maybe it's a way back for 100 Thieves. I don't know if you remember when we were at that awards dinner, I talked to an Age Shot for a little bit. Really cool guy, really humble guy. He said, as far as he's concerned, when he said we would like come back to Counter-Strike when the time was right, it's getting closer to that time. So maybe this could be a good entry-level team for him. You would have a player like Xantares, who I think is a legitimate kind of world, star on the roster, and then maybe through the lure of 100 Thieves money, maybe you get Woxic to stop the bullshit.
Now that might be a possibility, at that point in time.
So give me your thoughts about this. I mean, are Space Soldiers good enough for a top tier organization to pick up?
The key context here, and this is always what is missed. I don't blame fans for this one. When you see a move like that, you think of it in the way the sports thing is like, what's the team on the field and how good are they, and therefore, as a result, if you don't know things like what people's salaries are and how big the org is and whether the org pays you a top salary, you can't really make a business decision on those sorts of things. You're just going on what's on the field, and you end up doing things like I've mentioned in the past, like why doesn't Woxic just join Space Soldiers? Like, every reason that's not in the game would be a great reason not to join. Like, no money, fucked for visas, fucked with four other teammates who might not make it. All those reasons do exist and clearly were hindrances. I'd also heard, maybe I saw this somewhere, like that maybe SK was floated as a potential place, SK Gaming. So if you notice, it's orgs that are big orgs, but it looks like they're trying to like min-max. Like they're like, right, can I get back in a Counter-Strike, but I don't want to have to buy, we'll make up an example, Fnatic or something, their squad. Instead, what I'll do is, what's the one that's sort of a good little gamble? What could work out for me? Much as in the past, where the Immortals team came from, etc. One where it's like, there's some potential there. Also, maybe I can be the org to take them to the next level, to bring them up, to give them the facilities, market them. Like, actually, I think that's one area where I'm amazed Space Soldiers did such a bad job. If you think about the demographics of the world and how many people are in the Counter-Strike, you could market the fuck out of players from that country, mate. Like, that's right.
Absolutely.
People would love to know this. People would love to know that there's players like that are actually good at the game that can go to tier 1 land. So I hope it works out for them. I hope they get one of these teams. I even think, like I say, if you want to do a little min-max aspect, it's not a bad gamble. They might give you some decent runs and they could get better in theory.
Yeah, and it's like I say, I think, like it's an entry-level team. They've been criminally underserved in terms of like content creation as well. One of the things I like about the successful organizations, your Team Liquid, Cloud9's recently valued at 310 million. Casually, Jack Etienne laughing all the motherfucking way at a bank.
Mate, the one who's really laughing
still won't
on
drop
that,
Skadoodle.
the one who's really laughing, because listen, here's the thing. Jack obviously has got a killer org, amazing stuff. Team Liquid, they've even done international, all sorts of stuff. Yeah. The one that really showed me on that list that, like, I'm almost just wasting my time shouting into the wind when I tell people about things, is where, like, Echo Fox was, like, 5th biggest org in the entire world. Like, the revenue numbers just do not believe whatsoever. And then when you go to games, what games are they in? They just list about 7 fighting games as if they were all separate, distinct esports. Yeah. There's a reason why fighting games have to combine, like, 10 games in a one to even be vaguely an esport. It's because it's not massive, is it? So if you're telling me, like, your top games are all these, it's like, this is just, it's like, this is an air valuation, mate. Like, you've tricked someone. Well done. You did a good job. But I actually sort of was my own naive fan who hoped if you looked in the, like, at what they've actually done, you'd go, this isn't worth the money.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm wrong. Joke's on me.
While people have tunneled in on Optic and how they've brought in external management that has run them into the ground, people haven't talked about Echo Fox, and it's the exact same thing, that's gone on over there. But anyway, to my point, I think the Space Soldiers guys have been, like, really undersold in terms of content, right? And like, I don't know anything really about these players besides their online reputations, their careers. Like, you think about Team Liquid, you get fucking, like, fly on the wall documentaries, you get, HTC interviews and things like this. And I think, like, when you think about how underserved that region is for players and how there is this appetite to watch Counter-Strike events, as shown by the Blast Istanbul, there's no doubt that an organization that has the resources to basically, effectively market these people, like a Made in Brazil, one of these new wave organizations. I honestly think they could be one of those beloved teams that maybe they never win a tournament, but they've always got great support anywhere they go. Kind of like what Virtus Pro was, like, morphing into in its, like, 3rd iteration or whatever. So I wish them all the best. I hope they land on their feet. I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised. I think they'll have a lot more options than maybe they suspect. It's always sad when I see, like, in the news post on HLTV, they're like, here's our email, please.
That is rough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's always a Hotmail like or a Gmail.
I was going to say it. Yeah.
Just buy one of those $10 domains, you daft cunt, and make it like at potential top team or something. Like, come on. It can't just be like Billy Bob Kiss 44 balls at ya. Like, no, nobody's contacting that email, are they? Come on. You're never going to get one. I'd like to offer you a contract.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk a little bit. We touched upon it there. Optic Gaming. I did a lot of interviews recently around this. Obviously, we talked a lot about the Optic India thing, but I actually did an interview with, like, Optic J, Ryan Musselman, who's, like, one of their old school guys who's, like, just been installed as president after they deposed the CEO, Chris Cheney, who came in and was apparently responsible for a lot of these poor decisions that were being made in the org, like how they fucked up the Dota team, how they fucked up the League of Legends team. But it was interesting. Like, we were talking about that Optic India thing, and I was like, I don't think you realize just how much of a fucking debacle that is. Like, you are now, your brand is now in a region you were desperate to expand into for marketing purposes. Not even just in that region, but especially in that region, your name is fucking mud. Like, your name is mud. Like, I don't know. I know you saw it because you tweeted about it, but that player, Forsaken, he's, like, having to go into hiding, like, there's a lot of fucking, no, it's massively unreasonable within the context of what he did. Like, obviously he's a fucking piece of shit. Like, nobody's not saying he's a piece of shit, but, like, the fact that there was, like, an angry mob gonna go to the fucking airport and dome him seems a little bit fucking extreme for cheating in a video game. I don't remember an angry mob going to beat up Lance Armstrong when he came out. I remember a lot of people crying, saying, "Yeah, let me down." Like, I don't remember the pitchforks. But anyway, so I was, like, saying to him about that whole Optic India thing, like, how in subsequent reports it's been proven all you would have to do was a cursory investigation to realize this Forsaken player was rotten to the core, had been boosting accounts using cheats, had many accounts back banned for his customers, and literally, like, via a contact of mine who did a report for VP Esports, I was able to find all of this out. like that. So your scouting team for this new region, you had trials as well. This guy had to come to a fucking trial and play. Makes me wonder how he performed at the trial. Like, no one asking any questions about that. The coach,
sure, because it was probably some fucking Flashdance scenario. You know, he'd been maligned the whole time, then he just fucking went out there, and they were like, "Oh, he's bloody brilliant! Yeah, let's bring him on the team." Oh, he's cheating the whole time. Come on.
And then, I mean, like, you know, it just shows as well that, like, how little Optic thought about it. They're like, yeah, we're gonna drop the entire fucking team. So that entire venture was a waste of fucking time.
It's like mad, isn't it?
So I just wanted to get your opinion about it. I mean, I don't know if it really affects us in a grander context in terms of global CS. One thing I wanted to add, and I'm going to do a follow-up video on it, was a lot of people are saying, well, that's just killed the Indian esports scene. Let me tell you guys, go Google something called the Indian Gaming Carnival, where Moscow 5 were literally robbed at gunpoint at an esports tournament. If that didn't kill esports in your region, I don't think this little cunt cheating is going to make a big difference. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on it and what it all means.
Sure. I mean, the basic story itself, it's not like we've never seen a story of someone goes to a LAN that isn't a massive tier 1 LAN, gets found to be cheating, oh no, all the ensuing drama. Obviously, because the problem with that sort of a topic is, in reality, everyone reacts emotionally. Like, because everyone themselves feels like they've met cheaters in their life in games, they think the concept of cheating at a pro level, it's like all these things that aren't really actually about what the person did get brought into it and people just react emotionally. I get that, right? But I've always thought the vitriol against people like that was too much. Like, to just ban them for life's a pretty good thing, or 10 years or 5 years or whatever. That's a pretty good punishment, guys. Like, that is actually, or I would consider, a pretty stern punishment. You don't have to, like, hate the person, fucking go in on them, tell them you're going to kill them, or ban them for every game to ever play in any esport and somehow, like, that's going a bit too far. Like, that's called unnecessary punishment. So the bigger problem to me was again, one player cheating will never kill a region, will never kill a team. I don't even know where that nonsense comes from. Like, I mean, we could give a million sports examples. A guy in the NFL just punched his wife in the face in an elevator. It's like they shut the fucking Ravens down the next day. Is it like, you know, and it didn't. So, right, everyone on the team's fired because you should have known he was going to do that. Like, come on, man, no. Like, it's not the way the world works, is it? That's like a very immature response. But I will say, the worst aspect of this isn't even the Forsaken guy. It's the fact he was like the thread that when people were like, let's fully check the whole thing's coming unraveled, because you know that thing where they find like 20 players under investigation, including everyone you've ever known. Like, that's depressing.
Yeah, and I think what's more depressing is, I mean, don't get me wrong, ESL have corrected it as we'll get to, but ESL came out, and sure, it's ESL India, and I think they were working in partnership with the So Strong admins, Strong being the Indian equivalent of FACEIT, and they came out and said...
Hey, similar rates, ironically. It's childish, but keep going.
That's good. That's a good one.
Maybe that could be Bardolph's next line. That is in rupees, right?
What's that, 2 eggs? Not about that life. Have some fucking rupees.
That's the part we forgot, Richard.
What?
That is also the reason why I had to reveal the chicken thing. Aside from the fact, by the way, it's a very legitimate point of how ridiculous the whole talented thing and that. How could I not? It's like the universe. Again, we are in a simulation. So after all the thing about the unlimited eggs, don't worry, Pasha. I've got a plan in mind to make sure you get all the eggs. Get me the finest chicken in the land who can lay eggs on demand. Oh, it's going to be expensive, mate. 400-500 quid. Get him here now. It's like, how does that tie in? Why does that level of surreal shit have to happen?
I don't know, mate. It's fucked up. But anyway, so anyway, the So Strong admins were the people who were advocating for Forsaken's innocence on the basis that, well, if Optic are picking him, he must be legit. If he's played at a boot camp, he must be legit. And there was so what's happened is they went back and looked at the SSDs that they were slotting in for the ESL India tournament, which of course was a LAN finals. They've checked the SSDs, and lo and behold, that same scutty little public cheat was on the SSD.
Oh my God. By the way, that part alone, I know obviously I'm using hyperbole when I say made it all worth it, but just the video of the admin going, can I just have a look at him going like, no, get away. You know when he's like slapping the admin's hand? Why is life so ridiculous? You caught already, aren't you, daft cunt? Like, you can't get out of it. Like, I'd really rather you wouldn't. Like, he's looking at your computer. It's his job, innit? Like, it's over. Why are you just holding on at the end? Like, it's not going to happen, is it?
But so ESL India had to come out and make a statement going, yep, we looked at the SSD and we found that file was on there. So here's the thing. Obviously, this couldn't happen at a better organized event. But the problem you've got now is, of course, everybody's using this like the proof of concept, the canary in the coal mine, that proves that every pro's cheating and there's no checks and balances at any event. You know, Vaxduck's having a field day about it. All of those conspiracy theorists that literally Valve would never ban a pro player. Go to iBuyPower, the most popular players in America. But it does look really bad. It looks like a level of incompetence, potentially even collusion, when you start thinking about how vehemently the So Strong admins were defending this player. It literally looks like they didn't want to check. And as I said, this was a player who already had a bad reputation. This was a player who was already known to be boosting accounts, cheating since 2016. And they fucking just, we're not going to check that SSD, and retroactively gone and done it. Oh, yeah, that shit, you know, why, how is it that this Extreme Lands Asia tournament can do it, but an ESL partner can't? So a lot of questions there. But to be fair, ESL have said we're going to do a rematch of the finals now because it was all completely null and void, which I think is a great gesture and obviously covers up the PR snafu with the fact that your admins didn't do their job. But yeah, the whole thing is a fucking mess. Like it is really, really bad. But yeah, it's not going to kill esports in India. If anything, it's probably going to shine a spotlight on the players that are legit and have built up the scene. You know, for example, a guy did a stream, a guy called Venom, who's like really well regarded in the Indian scene. Venom with a 3, of course. One thing I will say about Indian players, all their names are about 20 years behind, so they've got all the numbers in and shit like that, you know. But they, you know, it shined a light on him, and everyone was like watching his stream. And I remember when iBuyPower got banned, you know, put it this way, if one of the few good things that came out of the iBuyPower ban, we wouldn't have a team like NRG right now if the house hadn't been cleaned up, because there was a lot of gatekeeping going on in NA, and you know, Dazed was one of those big kind of gatekeepers. You wouldn't have had this new wave of talent, this new wave of in-game leaders, had the iBuyPower not kind of broke apart the NA scene a little bit. And so out of tragedy can come a lot of positives. And I think
so in a weird way, this could also be tied into the FNS master plot, where everything, basically, you guys need, everyone out there who has any nerd credit has seen that amazing theory that Jar Jar Binks was the real Phantom Menace Sith Lord behind the prequels. Basically, we've got our Counter-Strike version where it's FNS. He seems like a harmless guy, seems just like a cool guy, you know, but somehow everything does lead back to him and his career. And even if he seems like he's failing, he's just setting you up for the ultimate long con where, like at the end of, I'll just ruin The Usual Suspects. Basically, you know, you're going to find out he's not who you thought he was, and it'll be villainous. I've sort of redeemed it there. I
mean, if you haven't seen The Usual Suspects, as if you're still holding on to spoilers.
I know, why am I?
It was Kevin Spacey. Suck my knob. Fuck right off if you think you still get that. Like,
it's just directly doing it, man, alive. Okay. Well, here's the problem there, Sam, is I only got a bit uncomfortable when you said, Kevin Spacey, suck my knob.
I know. Yeah, someone needs to clip that, mate. Someone needs to clip that. I'm going to play that at your fucking funeral. Like, yeah, he had a lot of problems, Sam. I love disgraced film stars. Kevin Spacey, suck my knob. Your mother's there crying, oh, God.
At the end of the movie, what you should do is edit it back in. So as he's walking out, he just goes, I choose to live my life as the villain.
Yeah, I choose to live my life as a gay supervillain. But anyway, yes, so I think the Optic Indian thing, I put it this way, it inarguably harms Optic Gaming way more than it harms Indian esports.
Also, as best timing for Optic. They're like, yeah, I'm sort of going through something right now. Did this have to happen? It's like, yeah, everything happens at once, mate. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's almost as if serial incompetence like creates this compound effect, almost like the official explanation for the Twin Towers.
I believe that's called. Down. I believe that's called, Richard. All your chickens coming home to roost.
Not bad.
Unlimited seeds.
Yeah. Okay, so another news story that happened. Obviously, Chaos, a team that we've never talked about on the show, probably not going to talk about again. But they were a Swedish team. They had, Freddie Frog was there. Devil Walk was the coach. They had Pless in there, the former Fnatic stand-in. They had a player called Relaxer, and they had Pronax and Makalele. And
what the fuck is this team? The Swedish Raggy Dolls? Who are all these rejected cunts? It's retarded. Why are these people all in this one team? Like, it's every single one of the players where you're like, he's still alive. I vaguely remember him. Wasn't he in a good team? They're all in one team. And they're obviously not succeeding, Rich, or everyone had heard of them then. Why are they all just in one loser team? Yeah, I used to be somebody. I want to make it. Why are they all in one team? Why have they done that? If you're a loser, right, take a fucking page from the book of, like, some of the other players in the scene. If you're a great player who's fallen off, don't go with the other great players who've fallen off. You're all going to be dead in a fucking ditch. Grab onto some young, good player, fucking strangle the life out of him as you claw your way back up to the top of the scene. That's how you do it, you idiot.
So anyway, Chaos Gaming, they Reject Gaming. They released Pronax and Makalele. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because, very much like the Smiths thing, very much like the Dead Fox thing. After Makalele got kicked, he went online to talk about it, and it was very clearly an acrimonious split. It was not something Makalele was expecting, and he put a few tweets out where he said, "I recently had some good couple of days, but now I'm just completely lost." I can give you these tweets, by the way, Sam, if you want to bring them up on screen for production value. Yeah, all right, cool. Hang on, let me do that. There we go. Right there. I recently had some good couple of days, but now I'm just completely lost. I have no idea about anything. This tweet literally took me 3 hours to write. Hard times, dude, and I have no idea how to overcome it this time. This community have literally destroyed my career, and it's heartbreaking. I've been a part of this community for a bigger part of my life. I've always been a fighter. I fight for everything I want, but now I don't really know. Good night. I'm out. And then 2 minutes later...
Why would he follow that? Why would he go like that? I'm a fighter. I'll never get... Good night.
Yeah, I'm a fighter. Fuck this. I'm done. Yeah, it's a bit weird. But 2 minutes later, he did say... I'm not blaming... Yeah, I'm not blaming everyone, of course. There are still some people that trust me, respect me, and stay loyal, and I appreciate you. Nighty-night. So, I want to talk. I definitely wanted to talk about this because it's certainly not as absurd as the Dead Fox thing, where it's like, I am playing despicable positions that you can't see. I am the whole reason Hellraisers exist. It is the most narcissistic, grandiose statement I've ever seen. Like, if ever a player was so delusional about their own importance, it was Dead Fox. You'll notice you never heard Stiko saying anything like that, right? Even when he was much maligned. But Makalele is a very interesting case for me. I think Makalele is probably the player who literally has been fucked over the most by his fellow players. So going back to G2 Esports, if you remember when he was in that team and they had that like ridiculous sort of miracle run at G2, at Cluj-Napoca, and Makalele was instrumental in that. He had like the record number of clutches at that tournament, like, 70% win rate in 1v2s, which was like higher than Forsaken's numbers. He was callback. He was, he played really well. Yeah, word to your mother. And Makalele was the guy who kind of got them into FaZe, right? Initially, he was the, guy who would go out and represent his teammates, represent his players, get them in. And he's done this on a couple of occasions. And every time he gets his friends into a good place, or he gets his team into a good place, he always seems to be the first one pushed out the door. This led to rumors within the community of him being a toxic element, that he was somebody that would rage in game, somebody that wasn't very supportive of his teammates, which seems insane when he was the guy who came out and fucking publicly said, Fox is brilliant. He drops Glocks and everything. Seems pretty fucking supportive to me that you're willing to make such a ridiculous statement. Your reputation suffers as a result of that. Then he was in the wilderness. He ended up on NIP. If you remember, the NIP with Makalele, while far from prime NIP, won tournaments. It won that fucking Star Series event.
This is when he came back for everyone. Yeah. He did the 4 tournaments.
Yeah, he did 4 tournaments with NIP. They won one. I think they had a runners-up at another.
He had a bunch of top 4s.
Yeah. Now, I know that, Get Right and Forrest, their personalities don't mesh with Makalele, but they were winning. And I wrote an article about this and showed his statistics and, said, I think, because NIP was saying it's a stand-in, I was like, if they don't pick him up on a full-time contract, I think it's a mistake. And obviously Makalele goes out, NIP go backwards. That was the last time they looked like a consistent team. So, and then since then, he's just been, like I say, in that wilderness, in and out of teams, in and out of rosters. And all the while, the community is saying, well, if he can't stay in a team, there must be something wrong with him. This old idea that there must be something there. Now, maybe that's true, right? I have no particular levels of insight, but I do know that, if anyone's been mislabeled as fucking toxic, it's probably this guy, honestly.
They do seem to use that mad logic, don't they? Of the old fucking witch trials of if he float, he'd be a witch. It's come on, man. Obviously, he's getting wrecked. You guys also do keep non-stop bringing up shit from years ago. People can grow.
Yeah,
they can change. Yeah. Give them a chance.
Yeah, as I'm told by Danny O'Dwyer, who recently had a slew of fucking racist jokes come out on Twitter. He said, "I've grown since then." Patrick Klepek, I've grown since then. It's weird how everyone else gets to.
Have you noticed how they never publicly own it before being caught? A growth takes place seemingly without any checks and balances. Just they become great humans. And part of why they're so great is they just go, never mention all the shit I did before. One of the things I've always done personally is I've always thought if you just address what you've actually done, that is step 1 on the path to improving and growing,
Yeah. Now, here's the thing as well. In regards to those guys, I think it's great they've undergone a personal growth. I think it's brilliant when people become better. I love that across the board as the capacity for human development. What I will say is, though, if you're going to be like the fucking Witchfinder General going around and calling out people like Colin Moriarty and ruining their careers for making harmless jokes or labeling you a racist or a misogynist without any foundation whatsoever, putting out false information about websites that you have retweeted and things like this, I think there comes with that. If you want to be the arbiter, it's who watches the Watchmen, right? You're going to get fucked every time. So maybe slow your roll, Danny, and just make those fucking documentaries where you lick the arse of any big developer that'll give you fucking access, like those Bethesda adverts that you did, where you didn't call out any of Todd Howard's bullshit when you sat down with him. Just saying, but whatever. So let's talk about Makalele. I think... this is a guy. I legitimately feel sorry for him. I wanted to poke a little bit of fun of him. I don't think it's the community that's to blame. I almost think it's his fellow pros that have a perception of him. I don't think he's been well served by his teammates. It's hard to see him getting back into a top tier team. He needs a win to prove that he can get back to that level. So I understand his frustration. I think he's a much better player than people give him credit for. And honestly, if a player like Draken is doing the rounds, there's got to be room for Makalele somewhere. Just in terms of ability,
No, first of all, to tie back into what you were saying earlier, I actually agree. In fact, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Both times he was in NIP, they were one of the most exciting versions of NIP to ever happen since the original lineup. They had mad fucking upside. And now that comes with the territory of all the teams in CS history, aside from Virtus.pro. Yes, NIP were the most resistant to change, seemingly used some really strict social system where they have to completely like you and be comfortable with you in all regards. Otherwise, even if you kill it in the server, that's not enough. I never understood that personally. Like, I'd love to go wind the clock back and see what 2015's like if Makelele's in that squad before Alu. I'd love to see when he came back and did the standing, if they let that go a little bit more, give it 2 more months or something, Again, they like the Edward Pitt. Also, you notice the people replacing him each time are like people with no personality, basically. Like, I'm sure they're very stable players who do a good job, but they did. What I liked about him was it's not like a lazy narrative, rather. Yes, outside of the game, he was a very vibrant, upbeat guy. That's what his playing style's like. I've always loved that, the way that it's like that in sports and even in esports, There's something about your character that does translate to how you control a video game character. It's kind of weird, but just the way it works. So I thought there was some upside to him. Now, there was some minor downside. Like, I'll say this. Of all the people I've heard of who've been labelled as toxic, the thing about them is usually that follows them behind the scenes with the pros as well. Like, they're all saying, yeah, actually, he is a piece of shit, that guy. Like, you don't even know the half of it, mate. If you knew what was going on, but that doesn't even exist for Makelele. To this day, even in private, you will not get an NIP player to explain what is so bad that this guy had to be kicked after one bad performance, like the original time. They still won't explain what it is, which makes it seem to me like some very minor, petty, personal thing, which, by the way, their prerogative. They can pick who they want as their teammates.
Yeah, obviously.
But that feels like, if I look at the rest of the scene, same thing. Like, why is it never leaked out why he got kicked from the G2 FaZe team? Why has it never been explained why no one wants to pick him up? It's one of those ones where it's actually the, like, silence that's kind of conspicuous, because normally that stuff does get out there. Like, whether they put it out publicly, people will say, if they're in the NA scene, well, I don't want to play with that guy because he's bloody arsehole, charged too much money. Like, no, they'll just say it because it's what players do. Players can't keep a fucking secret unless they play an Optic India, obviously. But, like, basically, yeah, it gets out there. And I have to say, genuinely, I've almost never heard stories like that from Makelele. Like, unlike people in the past, like Modi, like Simple, who there was more of a grain of truth to them being toxic, or whatever the fuck that terminology is, and being an arsehole. There are stories that sort of corroborate that. With Makelele, I don't really get it. So I'm kind of with you. It's not really that the community, like the fans, did him in. It definitely doesn't help that they keep resurrecting the same old narrative from now at this point in time, like 3 years ago, and just keep running with that, whether there's any, corroborative evidence in the meantime. But I'll say, like you said there, the real thing that concerns me is I feel like it's the other pros who are pushing that narrative, or have, like, built it up more, or keep resurrecting it, because that's one thing that will kill you in this business. It's the reason why young Kiyashima isn't in a team right now, despite being better than half the players in the French teams. Like, once you get a certain type of a rep with a certain type of pro player, then either the old stories that they told haunt you, or even worse, it's like no one has a reason to vouch for you, so no one does. It's not that they're now. He's
a lag out. Don't worry, me and you are still here, but me and you are still here.
We still here. Did he get Russian?
Yeah, I guess.
That works out really good, actually. We'll wait for him to come back. Hopefully, Putin didn't get to him. But what we'll do is, I just realized I didn't even fucking plug the sponsors at the start.
Give him another one,
right?
Mate.
Yeah. So let's do it properly. So I'll plug him here, and then you can put it like at the start.
Hang on. The cams are just reset. Let me set up your cam individually. Yeah.
All right.
Quick patch. We'll do it live, mate. Everyone can see the magic of TV. There you go, man.
Okay.
It's done. Wait. Crop on the left. Crop on the right. Oh, too far crop. Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, now you can go.
All right. So this podcast was brought to you by rivalry.gg/RLS. .gg/RLS to qualify for $350 of VIP bonuses, and in doing so, you will support the channel and indeed the podcast. Right. So while we're waiting for Duncan to get back, hopefully he gets back. Listen, I fucking saw a guy in the chat, Sam, who said the classic. When will you upload these podcasts to Podbean?
I was going to reply.
A guy called Anus Bonus, right?
The first guy who asked, I didn't mind. Then there was a guy who replied who was clearly asked before and been told no. He's like, apparently we're not entitled to them. Correct? You were not entitled to them. Correct.
You are not. So while we just in case Duncan doesn't get back, maybe we can, I hope we don't end on this now. but absolutely, it needs to be repeated, right? First of all, we are. Let me explain how it works, because you obviously are a fucking cretin and you need to have everything spelled out to you. So, okay, content like this is my time, which is, I'm sure you don't understand it, but it's valuable to me and it's valuable in general. The 2 hours I spend doing a podcast could be spent doing something else that would make me money. For example, I'm a syndicated. Well, I'm a columnist. I'm freelance. My columns can get picked up by anybody and used by anyone if they're willing to pay me. I could write a column in that 2 hours and probably make a few $100s, right? So when I do this podcast, it's on the proviso that there's going to be a bare minimum amount of reward for my time. Now, we don't get any monetization through YouTube. The money on YouTube is a joke, but we want to grow the YouTube channel so we can bring in sponsors like Rivalry, right? If we don't have 100,000 YouTube followers, we don't get sponsors. And we don't get 100,000 YouTube followers unless we put content that people want to subscribe to on fucking YouTube.
I'm back.
Right, good. Right. Also, right, when we put out audio only, there's no fucking ads. You don't make any money on that, right, at all. This is paid for by patrons. Now, if a patron hits me up and says, hey, I want an audio only, I'll refer them to the link in the bottom of every show where, despite everything I've said, yeah, well,
basically, the way we do it is once a month, I upload everything in bulk. So if you're one of those people who likes to watch everything in the show, you basically work a month behind. You get a month of shows, you listen to a month of shows. You get a month of shows, you listen to a month of shows. Or you can just do what I do for YouTube videos I want on the fucking phone. Download it myself. You can do that. You can do that, mate. You can do that.
It's just so mind-blowing that we have to explain this like consistently. So maybe this will serve, right? If you see anyone asking about this in the chat, refer them to this episode of the podcast, right? You'll get it when you're fucking given and not a moment before. And if you think you're entitled to it, go fuck yourself with a rake, because you're the kind of cunt I do not want anywhere near my content, you greedy fucking short-sighted prick. So I hope that clears it up for you, Anus Bonus. And so, right, anyway.
The only problem is the
lagging.
connection I was on died.
Yeah, you're lagging now, yeah.
I'm a robot.
Yes. Right, turn your camera off. We'll just go no cam.
Yeah, okay. Because the problem is, like, the main connection I was on went down. So there's another Wi-Fi I swapped over to, but it's probably not as good. And so it'll just go in and out.
Yeah,
as long as you can hear me now.
Yeah, the audio.
Okay, right.
The audio.
Basically, anyway, like, I was almost finished on that one. Yeah, basically, if for someone like Makelele, I would just say on that one, mate, like, I don't know why, but I would literally go, no joke, teammate by teammate, every famous team you were ever on, ask them just straight up, did I do something wrong? Is there any reason people might not like me? Because even if they just tell you, like, okay, well, I guess this, that, and the other, at least you know now like, what to address in the future. Because, like, I don't know whether his talent level's shit anymore. Maybe he's not a good player. I haven't seen him play in fucking ages, mate. It's like so long. But he certainly seemed like someone who had promise, and especially the angle on, like, someone like him, if you're even just half decent as a player, the marketing angle's so good, you almost an asset to a team in that sense. So it's kind of a sad scenario. I agree with you. With that said, though, why is he one of the generation where? Have you ever seen that now? They have just officially added to the dictionary a definition of the word literally that means not literally. It means like metaphorically, because kids have just used it so much that they've made. Yeah, that's the way language works. Eventually, you do just make a word mean something else. Like, sound, you've ruined that one, guys. You've literally ruined that one, you daft cunts.
Right, let's talk about something that's mind-blowing. Reports coming out that Rogue looking to pick up MSL. Apparently,
that's a fucking fall.
Yeah,
from North to Rogue.
Yeah, it's apparently a done deal. I mean, first of all, let's just talk about Crystal, who's kind of doing the rounds.
He can't get a fucking break, can he?
Well, he can't get a break, mate. But Sam, if you go and bring up his statistics,
they're shit. Don't worry, they're absolutely appalling.
No, but I mean,
for who?
He's mate for Crystal.
Crystal with a K. One who was the German one.
Just have a look at this graph, mate. Again, I'll do the same joke I always do. It's like fucking BitConnect, mate. It's fucking unbelievable, his career trajectory in terms of where he is. And I'm not even just talking overall, like back in 2014, 2015, when he was like a decent AWPer and would have occasional flashes. Like, he is now at an all-time career low, and the dip has happened between the start of the year and now. Like, he's got worse. He was already bad. And yeah, just really, really struggling. Like, some his, like, obviously it's not all about statistics as we talk about, but this isn't really a support player. This is somebody who's like still trying to have some like level of like status within the team, some sort of presence on the server, and he just can't get it done. He's so like he'll have the occasional game where he'll drop 20. He had a pretty decent performance with the online games that he had recently against MIBR and Envy, but he is absolutely terrible. And again, you couldn't. You simply couldn't have him and MSL in a team. But anyway, MSL joining Rogue, you're right. I mean, you've got to say it's a massive fall. Cadian going one way, MSL going the other. I don't really understand what's in it for MSL besides a paycheck, but maybe
some sort of mad Danish trading places type scenario, isn't it?
Yeah, not bad. So yeah, what do you make of all of this? It's like I don't know. It doesn't feel like a good fit to me.
It's happened again. Has he gone?
Has he gone again?
But there's a sec. I might be lagged. Let's see. I'm dead.
I'm dead.
Badge da. I can't. Wait there, I'll try plugging the RJ45 in and see if that network's come back.
All right, good.
All right.
You
So just take 1 second. I'll see if it works.
No worries. You go get your fucking droid. Who the
It works. I need to.
It's an Ethernet cable.
Right.
Who the fuck's RJ45?
I thought it was like talking about like a stuff for like, just like an RJ45. All right.
I'm into the mainframe RJ45 activated.
Why not just say an Ethernet cable or something? You know what I mean?
Well, that's fucked. Yeah, that doesn't work, but whatever. I'll just keep using the Wi-Fi. It's wave works. It just goes in waves.
All right.
I do like that though, where Richard has just revealed his dated age. He's like, who's all this bloody RJ45? Like,
I am here to serve. I am RJ45.
What else do you want me to fucking... No one calls it that. When was the last time you heard it called an RJ45?
I don't know. I wanted states with all the fucking network engineers out there.
Fucking hell. Anyway, so MSL to Rogue, what do you think's going on here? I mean, is this a good move for MSL? Can he turn this into a good team? Is there something to build on?
The upside here is obviously Rogue has some half decent pieces. They're not all like throwaways. There's some decent players in the team. And it is such a drop down that I feel like the upside is if MSL does a good job, he will so quickly raise his stock again and win back a lot of the community because he'll show them that he could be a leader that they thought he couldn't when he was with the big boys in North, as it were. But the downside also is you are taking that massive drop down. So in a world in which it doesn't work out and it doesn't go well, you don't do those things, you're basically just one step from being in the fucking Makalele type scenario which you described before. You'll be in the absolute dustbin of life, and I don't know how you get out of that scenario. So it is a bit concerning to me because I have to say, as much as he might be maligned and Reddit people hate him, I thought MSL had more status in the industry. I was expecting some team to give him a chance, like a bigger name, someone to at least do a trial base.
We talked about Optic again, maybe.
Yeah. Going. It's a bunch of teams I could have seen sort of giving it a shot. So the idea that this was I will say this is. Let me tie it back into what we did earlier on. So I will point out that even though Rogue CS team is not that good, they are an org that has money. So it's not the case that he's gone to like, a no-name org just because Rogue CS team doesn't have high status. Like, this may well be the highest dollar offer that he got, and it might be actually a very good fucking salary. So there is that world as well, where maybe in the short term he just took it for that reason as well. But I don't think this is the end of MSL. Like, I don't know if he can do the exact same playing style. Maybe that's just moved on in Counter-Strike. Like, there's not many teams who can just run that old school approach. But I just think generally he's a fairly smart guy. He's someone who was, within reason, good at sort of self-reflecting. So I could certainly see him making his return. This is not exactly the team where I can look and go, it's loaded with talent, let's go. It's like, but there's a chance here to do something. There are some pieces you could do something with. And if anything, KD himself was just learning to be an in-game leader in that team anyway. So maybe a real in-game leader comes along and does take him to a slightly higher level.
Yeah. Like I say, I agree with you. I really didn't think, like, no disrespect to Rogue, but I really didn't think it would get this bad for MSL. I didn't think he would end up this far down the trough. There's
if you could go back in time, surely if you're Cloud9, you'd take MSL over Golden. Like, they're both people I've promised, obviously you can't do that. Like I say, you'd have to go back in time. That deal was done well before. But, that's what I mean. Like, I think the timing in the industry maybe was also bad. Like, not many teams has a spot open, or they're still trying their in-game leader. So, yeah, I think MSL, unfortunately, just hit a bad timing on that one. But hopefully they'll come back stronger. Memes.
Yeah, really, really weird. By the way, is that Sam or you? Sounds like someone's
that's not me tapping. No.
Is that
all
you?
Right? Am I tapping?
Yeah, it's all right. So also as well, there was some reports that I thought were fucking interesting that came out courtesy of DK over at Double Tap. He said, he did a report where they were talking about Cloud9 looking for a permanent replacement for Skadoodle, and apparently they've given up on Cirque, and they had made tentative contact with Wardell from Ghost and Croman, and both of those players apparently turned down Cloud9, according to DK. So, I mean, this is what's really interesting. Like, Cloud9 is an organization, as we said, it's the highest valued organization in the world. They keep winning. They've had like this miracle run at League, obviously doing very well with the London Spitfire team, obviously won the major right at the start of the year. But the CSGO team really seems to be massively devalued at the moment. I think Wardell's a really, really good player. I love what Ghost are doing. I think Ghost, like I say, the whole Steel equation obviously makes it sad that we'll never see them in a major. But I honestly, if FACEIT is the shape of majors to come, who gives a fuck? But by the way, let's just say that there's far more prestigious tournaments you'll be able to play at if that's going to be the benchmark for all future major events. But like the idea that Wardell would turn it down rather than it be Ghost say you can't have him, and Croman is turning it down after he tweeted, hey, I'd even play in NA. I just want to play. I just want to get in the team. Not Cloud9, though. Not Golden's Cloud9.
You're absolutely right. Like, especially the Croman one. Because the key thing is Croman doesn't have a team. Not only that, he was never on a big team. And he only had a brief standing period. Like, this is not even a guy who's legit.
He's on Tempo Storm now. With Fox and Rubino. Like I've seen. I don't know if Fox is still in it. I can't keep up. I mean, I haven't seen Tempo Storm do anything.
No, that's a pretty low level team.
Yeah. Like Reynad's a great guy and a smart dude, but I think after he got his fingers burnt with the Brazilian roster, he's like really not cared for CS. He's focusing on making his card game the Bazaar right now, and whoever's managing the CS:GO team has sort of really let that field go fallow.
No, but when I hear this story, right, about Wardell and fucking Croman, I want to just like loop back to that classic fucking Reddit meme for football where it's like, Cloud9 came along to meet Wardell and Croman, and they said, listen, like, I know you're not in the best place in your careers, but I feel like we're not in the best place. We could do a deal together, we could build our futures. And then the thing is, it's when I looked at the sad little faces, the desperation, the lack of hope, said Wardell and Croman. Like, it's almost like that. We're at that level of like the fucking football meme. If these people are the players turning you down, like, who are you going to get? If those are your free agents, you can't sign. I mean, Wardell isn't technically a free agent, but as you said, there are extenuating circumstances why if he would want to go, the buyout scenario would take care of itself, wouldn't it? Like, I doubt Ghost's going to be dicks and be like, well, sorry, mate, we have to keep you in this team where you can never play majors. They probably would facilitate it, and I've no doubt.
Yeah, it's a real strange one. And it's like, I almost feel it's not related to the organization at this point. It's basically related to everybody wanting to stand back and see what Golden can do with this.
I would suspect, Rich, that what happens is either in practice they're shit, or the behind the scenes chatter is like, who even knows if this lineup's going to stay together? You know, if this X player might be out, X Y player might be in. And then, as usual, another thing that kills teams is when you have a good asset. So Automatic is still absolutely a good player who could be in a top team. Sometimes you get those rumors like, no one even knows if he'll be even here in 2 months, of course. And these are the things that put people off joining teams, unfortunately. It's the same reason why we've alluded to it in past episodes. It came out that a bunch of these players turned down Virtus Pro offers. It's because they know they're not really joining Virtus Pro. You're basically just getting the best fucking deck chair on the Titanic. It's like, why even bother? Just start off in a lifeboat. So
it looks increasingly as if the Drake and Cloud9 move could be on, from what I can tell. It's interesting. I'd like to pick the brains of like Automatic and Rush at this point and see what they think about it, because I honestly still think, like Skadoodle, he's done the classic, like in their online games. Now that he's retired again, he's dropping 20s on the reg. It's almost as if he has some form of mental problem. He's doing it with a rifle as well, of course. It's like, where's this been for the past fucking 4 years? But yeah, I'd like to pick their brains about it, because I feel like Automatic is just way and above like the best player on that team, and yeah, look, there's going to be a vacancy on FaZe soon. I was talking about it last night. I was streaming Esports Legend, a Chinese game about managing a League of Legends team. It's super realistic. It's like esports is a happy place. But somebody asked me, like, if Automatic left Cloud9, where would he go? Like, Automatic is good enough to fit into that FaZe team in place of Karrigan, who we have to assume is going to be out soon, sure. and do an incredible job for them. He is that caliber of player. And I don't know what this Cloud9 team's going to do yet. I mean, it's a pretty big replacement. You're replacing your primary AWPer at this point. And the people who would be gambles in their own right, the likes of Wardell, the likes of Croman, they're turning you down. Like, where do you go from here, So, yeah, you got a lot of question marks about... I think it's tough times for Cloud9. I think they're going to end the year on a real low point, and it's mainly about building for 2019 right now. They're sort of like the Oakland fucking Raiders of CS. So I don't know. Do you think that maybe if they bring Draken in, the Swedish element could like click and align, or do you really think Cloud9 are going to struggle for the foreseeable?
Well, the sad thing is, as you say, you even hear or you look and you see players where it's like, well, they need a team and you've got a good salary and potentially one day a good team again. If even they're turning you down and the only people you can even get on the board is like Draken, who has nowhere else to go, literally nowhere, that sounds fucking rough. Now, that's still not the end of the world. Like, actually, who knows? Maybe Draken can be good in that team. I still haven't completely written the guy off. But it's a sad state of affairs, because normally it's the team not pulling the trigger on a free agent that is why you don't get him. I mean, think about the story recently. Adren and Hobbit are available from Gambit. Like, can't we just get a bunch of the good players and then make a mix out of that? Because I agree with you. I would just love to know, like, the sort of general manager perspective on what you think you're building here, because I don't get it at all. I just don't know where it's going.
I mean, we're literally at a point, right? I think this is the best free agency pool I think I've ever
it's seen. Wild, isn't it? I mean, they're publicly announcing it. That normally never happens. Yeah. Like, people wouldn't realise this. The amount of times I've had to go and tell a Team Liquid, a Cloud9, you could just get this player. What do you mean? Mm-hmm. No, as in, he would either leave his team or he'd just free agent now. And he'd just join my team. It's like, are you even following the industry, mate? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, like, Scream's out there. And I know people are saying Draken's going to Red Reserve in the chat. I don't consider that a realistic move. I mean, like, that is the fucking Swedish players' graveyard. There's like, if Cloud9 wanted to take that gamble on him, they get him tomorrow. It doesn't matter, what agreements or whatever he has in place.
Put it this way, Red Reserve looks at that Chaos teams and goes, ha ha, what a bunch of losers. And it's like sweat drips down their fucking head, because they're but for the grace of God, go all of them.
But then, you've got fucking, all these young players coming through as well that people might want to, take a punt on. It's like an exciting time for fucking CS. And I think, if Cloud9 do their fucking homework, they can rebuild and have a team that's, really good. Perhaps even with Golden and Flusher, working in tandem. But yeah, certainly at the moment, there's a lot of concerns in the type of players that, first of all, they're approaching, and second of all, the ones that are turning them down. And obviously, that's the much bigger concern. Now, with that in mind, we're talking about free agency. The Imperial, a team that we haven't talked about a lot, but they're one of the kind of up-and-coming teams in that Tier 2, having some, deep runs at Tier 2 tournaments, even winning on occasion. Well, a very strange thing happened, because obviously we talked a lot about, Esperanto basically being the emperor over there, and he got to pick up some players that he recommended, which include Nuki and Poun or Poon. I'm not too sure how you pronounce it. We'll say Poon because it's funny.
Say Poun.
We'll say Poon. We'll stick with Poon, right? But
knew he'd turn out to be ass.
They have got Pronax and Ottend acting as stand-ins for the team. So one of the things we did talk about here was that, the team, it has potential talent on the roster. It's got firepower with the likes of Esperanto. Nexa has been popping off as well at the last few events. That's Nexa, who was deemed not good enough for Renegades. Mind-blowing. But could if Pronax decides that he likes it and he wants to stay, which, by the way, I've known fucking Pronax for a long time. I don't think he'll tolerate Esperanto's bullshit. I don't see why the fuck he would want to even work with somebody like that on a daily basis. But who knows? Perhaps the Imperial could take that next step. But I got to say, I feel really sorry for the Lithuanian players, because I don't think they did anything wrong. I watched the Imperial a lot at events recently, and I think these guys were doing their job. They said Nuki in the HLTV report, he had a 1.10 rating at LAN while at the Imperial, which for a player with no international experience, is pretty decent starting point, And Poon had only been in the org for fucking 3 months when he was recruited alongside, and he was just below a 1-point rating, So I don't know. It seems like a drastic move, but I just feel the Imperial's problem is always going to be stability. I don't think the management have a lot of control, and I think they've got a tyrannical star player over there controlling the roster, like some Cut Price Nico.
Agreed.
Now, 1 sec. I was lagging a little bit there. Am I okay?
Yeah. I can still hear you.
Oh, right. So, maybe it's come back.
All right. So, just
I heard most of that. First of all, this Esperanto thing is wild, mate. I mean, it's the sheer level of fucking irony that the guy's name is Esperanto, a language created artificially to allow all races and cultures to communicate. And this cunt just cuts everyone and just picks up anyone he wants. So what sort of mad, surreal aspect is that in itself? Then you've got this factor where even when they do decently, they came top 8 at the Star Series I was at, they're still just cutting people straight afterwards. They're just letting this guy run fucking riot over the whole squad. It's mental. And then I can't even believe that this is a team that Pronax is joining now. This is just mental. There's a part of me in some sick way wants to believe. I'm like every fan. I want to believe that the old guy can make his comeback and he can show he's still fucking good. And it's like the WB Disney movie of the week where he's like, I'm not done just yet. Come on, nephew. You've got me out of my fucking drunken haze. And now I'm doing training montages and I'm coming back. You want to join Makalele? Let's go to the top together. But the problem is, it's just fucking depressing. At this point in time, Pronax is a bona fide CSGO legend. But at this point, if his level of play and his team's going to be like this, I want him to be a retired legend. Obviously, at the end, we all still revered Muhammad Ali. I wouldn't want to see him go 15 rounds as someone who's a fucking boxer. Would be an atrocity, wouldn't it? It's just getting depressing. So I'll give the outside chance that since they have some talent, maybe Pronax alone with his history and his veterancy and all that, maybe he can do something. But this whole team, like, if I'm joining that team, I'm in the back of my head going, I might get kicked in a month anyway. Like, what sort of trust factor is that going to create in a squad? Like, yeah, I know what Esperanto's trying to do. He's an FPL player. He's a young guy. He's never experienced, like, a proper team for a long time. You work out problems. You have a guy who's not perfect, but he's not totally shit, so you keep him. Sometimes you have to make small compromises when you're at his level, you know. So, whatever's going on with that squad, like, the biggest problem is, even if this is a half-decent change, what's to say they don't just do another change in 2 months and fuck the whole thing up? Esperanto, the young fucking Lithuanian John Gruden over there.
Yeah, I know. It is mind-blowing. But look, I'll agree with you on that point as well. I think Pronax is somebody that, like, his career has gone on a bit too long. We sit here and we bang on about fucking existence and stuff. It's like, if you want to fucking... see fucking his stats, again, go to his HLTV page. It's not fucking pretty. There's as much red on it as there's going to be in these midterm elections out here in America. Topical.
Edgy.
The blue wave. Definitely. Yeah, keep going, guys. I agree with you. I like my legends to fucking go out on top. We said it about Scar for ages. We said it about Existence for ages. I think, yeah, it's just kind of, listen, you've got nothing to prove. Like, even if he turned Imperial into, like, one of the best teams in the world, what does it really add to his legacy? Like, this guy has, like, won all the fucking majors, played in one of the few dynastic teams we've had in Counter-Strike, brings tenure from 1.6 like few active players do. He could transition into coaching, commentating, desk work. Like, the world is his oyster. Like, sometimes it's like you have to wonder if players have, like, it's too in the blood. Like, obviously you've got to exist in a little bit of a mad space to get up and practice Counter-Strike for 8 hours every day. You've got to fucking have something wrong with you fundamentally to be a pro player. But at this point, like, you've just got to hang it up, I think. So it's interesting. I think it will just be a standing gig. I don't think he'll stay at the Imperial. But, like, honestly, he's a cool guy. He's won a bunch of fucking tournaments. He's a legend in the game. Like, yeah, there's plenty of other paychecks out there. Like, am I supposed to believe he was making money while he was in Chaos? Am I supposed to believe Imperial are cutting him a fat check? There's no way. Like, if you could probably make more money doing other things at this point. It would just be a better move for everybody.
Just not analysing at the Faceit Major.
Yeah, definitely not. Where you will
awkwardly tie that in again.
Yeah, not bad. Pronax, go get 2 eggs, a cup of coffee, you cunt. All right.
Well, that'll be the next move, won't it? Like, Pronax is fucking already blowing up the cell phone of that chicken. How do we work together? I want a major, right? Come on, we can. Let's make paper, baby.
Yeah, and listen, Davey's like, yeah, maybe he just loves playing. I'm sure he does. But the point is that if Magic Johnson was still putting himself out on the court for the fucking Lakers, you know what I mean? You'd be like, well, Magic Johnson's a bad example. He's famous for other things now, some might say. But you know what I mean?
Like, you also had a pretty good reason for not playing anymore, Rich.
Yeah, terrible example in retrospect. Yeah. Look, just switch out another basketball player that doesn't have the HIV virus. Yeah, just switch out another player who doesn't have a crippling, debilitating condition, and you get the point I'm trying to make. So, but whatever. Right, let's talk about Winstrike. I'm conscious of the time. I'm keeping one eye on it, Sam. Don't worry. Winstrike, after benching their entire team, came out and said, listen, we've got a new one. I'll read you this roster of reprobates and you can give me your thoughts. Now, remember, these players are Russian and you are in Russia on a connection that's probably lagging because it's being listened to by Vladimir Putin. So
what's that clicking sound in the background?
Yeah, right. It's all right, though. I think I bought you some safety by obviously making a joke about the Republicans, which Putin completely controls. I'm sure he'll be interfering with the midterms as well when the Democrats lose seats. Can't wait for that narrative to get spun.
Republicans are his trade federation.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, it's Boomich, Kvik, Waylander. He's back. The only Finnish person in the world willing to play with Russians, and even has his flag as Russian, even though his surname is Rakonen, the most fucking Finnish surname imaginable. World Edit, and someone called Norbert.
The Eddie Murphy movie, that shit one, right at the end. Why is he picked that as an alias? Just change it. No one even knows yet. Just change it. Change your name to Beverly Hills. No, listen. It was some of the good ones.
Now listen, I'm not getting Issad again. I am not getting Issad again.
Right,
so
okay.
I am not.
A year, Rich. Oh, fucking Norbert, top 10 player in the world. Of course, Richard Lewis said he's shit because of his name.
Mate, at this stage, it's just better to just go. I'll edit this bit out. Right? It's just better to just say, I've heard some really good things about him, actually. My sources in the scene tell me he's going to be an amazing player. He's an amazing prospect. So I'm really... I think Norbert will end up carrying this team, Duncan.
And then if he doesn't make it, you just go, performance anxiety issues, he had a lot of schoolwork going. Yeah, he caught whatever Pronax has got.
Yep. I'm glad you said Pronax and not fucking Magic Johnson.
Oh, the implication was the same, in case anyone hasn't figured out that job.
Yeah.
I kept myself safe, though, with one layer of abstraction. One layer of abstraction for safety. The Thorin story.
One layer of abstraction for safety is never going to save you as long as you have access to your own Twitter. So, I'm just putting it out there.
As soon as I can fucking beat the guy who does my Twitter, that's when my career will take off. That cunt's holding me back.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well.
What I should do is I can't do a tweet because it wouldn't fit the service. I should do a post on Facebook saying the bloody Twitter community's ruined my career, like do a Makalele.
No, listen, I'm telling you, what you should do is literally say like, it was never me on Twitter all along. Like whoever, it was Max Bloody, Mellet or whatever his fucking name is, and just throw him under the bus for money. And then you get a clean bill of health. You say, bloody appointed him around about the same time. I think his first tweet was something about luminosity. And then you just rizzle, dizzle your way out of all of the shit ever since, It would be a real games journalist move. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm just floating that there's always an option.
If I ever want to work at Waypoint, I'll do that.
Yeah. Well, I got to say as well, mate, I watched your Thorin versus the haters video, and it was so funny when you were going, Twitter is just the garbage heap of my ideas, the ones that aren't worth a video or an article. You daft cunts. So I thought it was brilliant. But anyway, what do you...
isn't it?
Oh, of course, mate, of course. What do you think of this Wind Strike team then?
This move is the most cynical move ever. I mean, remember, they already only picked that team up so they could play one major with them at least guaranteed, because that's the state they were in. And then now you've picked up players nobody else wanted. There was no rumor of but Gambit maybe you might replace him with World Edit. And it's like that rumor didn't even exist, even in World Edit's own dream. He probably had his dream and then keeps it realistic in his own dreams and goes, whatever, maybe I could one day play for a Vanguard. It's like, even he doesn't dream as big as Gambit, mate. So it does make it look like some mad narrative scenario where you're like, guys, I know we had a major slot and we sort of wasted it. So we picked up some guys who do that all the time. Welcome in the former Flipside players. Wait a minute, Flipside, you mean that team that was essentially only good because of Blade the Mastermind? You got Blade as well, didn't you? Yeah. Oh, shit. That's like maybe when they bought Waylander and World Edit. It was like where in a fucking catalogue in the UK, just for the idiot chavs who are like a 7th generation 15-year-old kid's baby, you have to put on the actual thing. Obviously, this iPod holder doesn't contain the iPod and fucking a person. You have to put that on the advert. Without Blade, what's the point? Who the fuck wants Waylander?
Yeah, I've never really understood the enamor with Waylander in the scene. I just don't get it.
It's because in some of those majors he had the odd really good game basically, but the rest of the tournaments he was shit. That's the problem. But that's the big
World Edit. World Edit I can understand.
Oh, shit, he was a good player, actually.
Yeah, well, when he pops off, he usually goes big. I think he's too inconsistent to be on a top-tier team. But when I look at some of the Orpas that are getting through and getting chances these days on top teams, yeah, I don't mind what the world edit pick up at all. But yeah, Wayland has always been a strange one to me. Always like talked up by Finns and Russians alike as being a player that like is going to do a job. And I know it. I've never seen it. So yeah. I mean,
Esperanto, can't you get fucking world edit into Imperial? I know what you're going to say, Esperanto, but he barely speaks English. Yeah, he might actually be able to stay in your fucking team then, you moron.
Yeah, he won't have to listen to you. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I agree. I think it's a little bit sad and cynical. You know, Windstrikers and Orc, they enjoy like having this like miracle run. They get all the attention from that. All of these young players immediately bench them and replace them for a bunch of fucking has-beens who've, you know, had chances. Well, not all of them, obviously. Boomich is still in there and Kvik and stuff, but I don't understand the Norbert pickup, honestly. Like, I don't even know who this guy is. So I am going to watch him closely before I like make any judgments. He's a player I'll need to like research. But yeah, just, I don't know. I'm kind of with you on this one. It's like having a team to have a team. There's no real big, kind of stories going to come out of them. And then the final bit of news we'll talk about before we wrap up the podcast, because I always find this shit amusing, right? An announcement by Fragsters that the players that they currently have on their roster, this young Danish team, which includes the like of Refresh, who we talked about on the I've talked about on the podcast a lot, and obviously Starvin, who is a young Danish player with a lot of potential. They put out an announcement going, since as the players' contracts are running out in January, we are open for offers now. And I just thought this is so fucking funny. It's like basically saying, like, we are so hot right now. We'd rather get some money than no money at all. So please come and pillage our team, as if the implication was that people couldn't just do that anyway. It's like your consent in this particular issue is irrelevant. You either take the fucking money that's on the table or you get out and we sign them in 3 months. So bit weird, not even 3 at this point. So yeah, it seems a bit strange. But I will add this. Like, there was a story with Refresh we talked about on the last podcast about we had his account hacked, and I just want to say as well, like, there seemed to be like zero support coming from Valve unless I missed something. First of all, the Reddit moderators deleted that thread solely because we talked about it on By the Numbers. And they apologized and said, oh, it was another one of our famous mistakes that relate to Thorin and Richard Lewis content. That only ever happens. It was just a miscommunication and it was caught by our autofilter. Have we done the checklist of moderator mistakes yet? So first of all,
well, that's still the excuse as well. Oh, bloody auto moderators ruining my reputation in this Reddit community. Isn't that a bot you set up yourself? Yeah, but never mind that.
So purely out of pathetic spite by a bunch of fucking losers who moderate a fucking forum, to try and get one over on us and live rent-free in our head when I can't even name who these people are anymore. I used to know them when it became very clear that there was just going to be a bunch of biased plebs like every other fucking esports subreddit on the website. I just tuned them the fuck out. You know, right about the time they started having a private Slack where they collect information about people in the scene, just like the League of Legends moderators did.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, it definitely seems reasonable that people that, according to the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals in America, actually do represent the Reddit company, maybe collating private data and information about people on a platform off Reddit should be the kind of thing you lose your Reddit status for. Just a thought. What do I know, though? I'm just a fucking idiot. Certainly not enshrined in law or anything, especially with these new data protection rules. Remind me, Duncan, as soon as I'm fucking get a run of 3 months, the lawsuit against Reddit's going to be so delicious. We're going to cover it. Me and you, right? I can't wait.
I can't believe. So basically, Richard, what you're saying is, when I do Thorin versus Reddit, that's just a light-hearted video series. Richard Lewis versus Reddit is an actual like fucking lawsuit.
I'm legit going to do it. Like, I've already talked to some specialist lawyers about it. They will not even give me a copy of my data. I've been making legal requests for my own data that they hold that they must comply to give me, and they're refusing to do it. So it's like I showed all the correspondence I've had to a lawyer. They're like, this is a slam dunk. Like, this is retarded. So, all right, cool. Their grounds for denying me a copy of my data is I can't log into the account that I deleted. It's like, you still got my data.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Have to get
Yeah. So anyway, fuck all that noise. But basically, the moderators basically stopped like the refresh thread going to the front page, delaying his potential intervention by Valve or anyone else who could help him for 24 hours while his account's in a critical state. Then after that, from what I can tell, like, nobody gave a fuck. And I had people tweeting at me going, well, he's an idiot, so why should he get any preferential treatment? This is a young player, like a young pro player, at a time when, if FACEIT are kicking you out of FPL for being associated with a VACBand account, or if you have an association with a VACBand account, you can't play in a major. His account is in the hands of somebody who could just go and cheat on it and get him VACBanned maliciously. So it's the kind of thing that I think pros should have a hotline to Valve about. I think it's the kind of thing that Valve, if CSGO Dev has time to tweet fucking memes and tweet shit, this is the kind of thing I want to see, Valve get involved in and resolve quickly. Now, I'm not saying they haven't done that privately. I haven't talked to Ishmael for like a couple of days about the topic, so maybe it did get resolved. But honestly, what an absolute clown fiesta that is, that we live in a world where a pro player's account can get compromised and there isn't some sort of hotline to get that resolved within 24 hours, you have to go through Steam support like all the other millions of users. It's like, it definitely wouldn't happen to a Dota player, put it that way. So anyway, the Fragsters lineup's up for grabs. Players are going to get sold. The team's probably going to get broken apart. I'm kind of excited about it. So do you see any immediate gaps you could see these Danish sensations going to? Could Optic make some changes? Could it be that big? Or do you think actually maybe nothing will come of it?
I'll touch on the last part first. There is a world in which these players have had too much too soon and the rest of the scene doesn't feel they're legit yet, or they're too young or inexperienced. And in that scenario, even if we see promise in them, sometimes someone doesn't want to be the first to want to take a chance on a guy. That happens. But I look at the scene, especially with the fact that, first of all, Danish Counter-Strike's at a fucking all-time high. Everyone wants these players because everyone knows what the scene's like, how well trained they are, how generally disciplined they are. So I already think immediately of teams like, yes, Optic maybe should be looking at a Refresh or Starven. Heroic obviously has Danish players. They should probably be considering some. If you want to take another one, if MSL's going to Rogue, pick one of those players, bring one of them with you. I'm sure a young guy like that, 18 years old, they'll be up for a year in America or whatever, mate. They might actually go for it. It doesn't have to be something where it's like they're uprooting your whole life. What life have they got? They're not fucking married. They've just got a wicked haircut. That's all. And in America, that is all you need to make it in this business, son.
That's what I'm told. It's where I've been going wrong all these years.
Yes. Your problem is you went there right after you'd actually had that wicked hair that I referred to in a past episode. You went when you were bald. That was your mistake.
I know. If only I hadn't done that. If only I hadn't have got male pattern baldness, Duncan. I'm an idiot.
Here's the thing, though. There's a solution, Rich. I actually saw my boy Dion Primetime Sanders on a show, and his hair's starting to grow back because he's actually gone and done something called like Revitalize or something, which is some sort of expensive process where they make their hair come back. Again, unfortunately, you have heard that same story about 700 times over the last 30 years. Probably a scam, but just give it a go anyway. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? You could just degrade yourself, put yourself through a potentially fake operation, and then just be mocked for months when you don't get what you want.
Hey, look,
what's new?
Look, right, well, hang on. I'll put this in the group chat. This is where we'll end. I have been thinking about getting one of these super advanced syrups, mate. You got to have a look at this shit, right? Here's a YouTube vid. I don't even know if you'll be able to play it on your fucking Russian
internet.
Skype is mental. Like when you link that, it literally took over the entire screen.
Not bad. Well, just play it anyway. I was looking at this thinking this is fucking sick.
Oh my god! Oh my! This is outrageous.
Man, that's fucking
like Al Pilkington when it comes off.
It's fucking brilliant, mate.
Yeah,
but you're just gonna get one of those.
The risk of someone seeing it, or imagine the shame. Like, Rich, is that just play with it?
Not only that, Rich wouldn't even do it. Like, if he's going to go in for a penny, in for a pound, he's not just going to get a normal haircut. He's going to get a fucking Johnny Bravo or something, and he's have like a massive.
No, but the point is, it would be so obvious it was a wig, But like, people have done it, why not? Why not me? Why not just wear that fucking mad wig and then just peel it off in a night? There's even video footage. Guy. he's having a swim.
You could just do what
doesn't even
could just do what one of my other favourite NFL players does, where Ray Lewis clearly just paints his head black. There's not even hair there; he just paints it black. It's so outrageous. Have a go and have a look on YouTube.
Yeah,
he's just painting the lines in.
I love him. I love him more. I love him.
Oh, I love it. Here's the thing.
Don't ruin my Ray Lewis.
He's so sick, I don't even let my brain register it. But if I ever stop, I go, that is outrageous. You're still doing that, homie. Like, we all know you haven't got hair. That's obvious, isn't it?
To be fair, he's been involved in more outrageous shit than painting his head black.
Yes.
You know, in terms of reasons to dislike Ray Lewis, painting his head is pretty low down. But I fucking love the guy. I think he's great. So anyway, so maybe I will get a wig, Duncan. And on that note, it's now time to thank the sponsors of the podcast, Rogaine.gg. No, it's not. If only.
We will now split like your motherfucking wig and go.
So it's rivalry.gg/RLS. You go to that website, you follow that link, sign up your account, and you'll qualify for up to $350 of VIP bonuses. And you'll support the channel, support me, and support this podcast. And of course, the people who do support the podcast directly are our patrons, which are the $100 patrons: Botvik, Chris Enwin, Detlef Insomniac, Sholu, Jerky's Minion. We have in our $50 patron category, Manuel Stockley, Saad Sawar, Daniel Plamanov Yordanov, Pete Bidstrup, Ivan Candido, TC Owens, Carv, Roosty, Ditadornov Christensen, Nostradamus, Marcus Kiumpar, Madsen, Colin Penny, Benakagi Assassin, and William Southern. We're going to keep the podcast going. As you can see, we're doing it at crazy times, trying to fit it in. Duncan's trying to prove everyone wrong in the scene, signed up for every event going on the fucking roster. Duncan doesn't get invited to any events. I'll show ye. So
exactly.
The podcast's going to be pretty fucking rough for a while. So apologies about the connection and everything. But thanks to everybody who supports the show. We really appreciate it. We're going to end it there, and I'll see you next time. Take care.